Yo, what up though? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Street Coder Nate, and you are following along the browser object model tutorial series. Now, remember, in previous videos we was learning about the window and the screen, and I was telling you that we get access to the window, we all get access to the screen, and right, the window actually loads the DOM, the DOM. What is the DOM? The document object model. The window loads that into itself. And so when you have your websites, you can go to different places. Let's say different links on your website. You can navigate to different places. But before you navigate, you really got to take a look at the URL. You got to take a look at the current place that you are, right? And so today we're going to look at the location aspect of the window and figure out what we can do with the location and how that can help us out in our projects a little bit. So without further ado, let's tap into the lesson. Let's get it. Okay, so here we go. Once again, we're doing the location. You can see right there. Cool. All right, and then right here, you see we working on the JavaScript location. So let me move myself up just a little bit around here. Okay, and make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Okay, JavaScript window location. So the window location object can be used to get the current page URL and to redirect the browser to a new page, right? So typically we do that ourselves. Like it says the window object can be used to get the current page URL. If we wanted to get the current page URL, how do we do that? Well, we go up to this little thing right here. Let me bring myself up here because this thing's so small. We go up. Oh, wow, I didn't know I could do that. Okay, we go up right here to this little box, which you see, and it says W3 School, and I could click on it, and now that gives me the actual location as to where I am. And you can see that it's W3 Schools, yada yada. Cool. So that's how I would get the URL. And then to redirect the browser to a new page. And if I want to go to a new page, well, I will come over to this little plus icon on the right hand side. I don't think y'all can see it. I'll go over to this little plus icon right there. And what I would do on this plus icon is just simply click that plus icon like that. And this will open up a new window. Then I come over here to this little thing right here. And let me move myself so I don't look like I'm looking at the wrong thing. So I come up to this little thing and I can go google.com. And now I'm currently moving my window. I think I just lost Wi-Fi. Yeah, I just lost Wi-Fi. And now I'm currently moving my window to google.com. That's dope. Thank God I don't need, okay, it just came back. Okay, now my Windows location is at google.com. But if I come back over here, now my window location is back at W3 Schools. So as a user, we gotta take our hands and we gotta click all over the place. But we could tell the computer to do that. And that's so fucking dope, y'all. Like, just how I just was able to go to a different website, just how I was able to figure out what my URL was. We were able to do all of that inside of JavaScript. Let's get it. Okay, so let's get back into the lesson and bring myself back down. Chia. Okay. So the window location, what is the window location? Object can be written without the window prefix. So we don't have to say window.location anymore. We could just say location. But what you will actually see is that a lot of people say window.location is just because it's easier to know that they're talking about the location of the window. Because you can name something else location in your project and then it's like, okay, is this a local variable or this is the global location variable? So I always say window.location typically. Okay, so now window.location has a few properties that can be set and then also one method. So let's take a look at these properties. We got the href. Where have we seen href at? We've seen href inside of our HTML when we were setting these anchor tags that link to other pages. Those anchor tags that href was referring to right here, like the URL returns the href URL. The href is another word for URL, as you can see right there. Returns the URL of the current page. That's what window.location.href does. What is that? What is the current location of this page? Now we got host name too, and this returns the domain name of the web host. So like google.com slash whatever, what it will return is just google.com. That's the host name, the host of the website. Okay, and then you got the path name. So if we did google.com slash JS slash HTML, basically the path name is everything on those slashes. So slash JS slash HTML. If we do window.location.path name, that's what will come up. All right, protocol. So then we got window.location.protocol returns the web protocol used, HTTP or HTTPS. So what is a protocol? Basically, HTTP says it's the hypertext protocol. Hypertext, something. No, maybe not hypertext, but it's definitely something. Let me just see what it stands for, because I remember what it stands for. HTTP. It's been a while since I learned about it. All right, hypertext transfer protocol. I was right. So yeah, so basically hypertext transfer protocol. So what is hypertext? Your HTML documents, and this is the protocol to transfer those documents. And so you can either say HTTP or you can say HTTPS and pause. What is a protocol? A protocol is just a set of rules, once again, a set of procedures. What to do. Computer, what do I want you to do when I send this file to you? That's the protocol. And so you got HTTP and HTTPS. HTTP refers back to the older version, the ancient version of the protocol, where there wasn't really much security on the web, and so they were just sending data unencrypted over the network. Well, motherfuckers like me who like to hack was like, yo, I can see all the data that's going back and forth. So people were like, you know what, we need to enhance this protocol, but we don't want to change this specific protocol, so let's make another protocol, and let's just add an S to the end of that whole. And so now you got HTTPS, and the S is more for SSL TLS, which is a secure socket layer transfer protocol type things. So basically, when we're sending our HTML, if you see HTTPS, or if you see a little lock icon at the URL, that means that the website is using the HTTPS protocol versus the HTTP protocol. Typically with the HTTP protocol, you'll see a lock with a slash through, a red slash through it, to show you that the website isn't secure, meaning that the data that you put on there, and if you log into anything that has a HTTP and not a HTTPS, your information is most likely stolen. So yeah, so there you go. So that's the protocol thing. How are we sending these? How are we sending this data? Are we sending it encrypted? Or are we sending it not encrypted? So we can figure that out using the protocol. And then we got window.assign. So what is window.assign? Window.assign is loads a new document. So basically, that just did what I did here when I went to google.com. I assigned the window to google.com, and then now the window loaded the google.com webpage. So we're going to see a few examples of that right now. Cool. Okay, so we got window location href. Remember, this is the URL. Property returns the URL of the current page. So if I wanted to get show the current page, I would say something like that. The page location is, as you see right here, the page location is, and where's the page location? The page location, we concatenated this string. That part right there is a string literal, and then we added the plus. That part right there, let me scroll down. That part right there is a string literal, then we added the plus, and then we added the window.href. Cool, so that's that. And the window.href is this part. The plus is the concatenation between this literal string and the window.location.href. Cool. All right, so we can also get the host name. Let's check out how we get the host name. This is how they did it. And so they're setting it document.getElement.id.enter HTML. So basically there is an element named demo, and they're setting the inner HTML. Most likely it's probably an H1 or a P. So they're setting in between a P tag this information right here, which is just showing up right there on the page. Okay, cool. So what I'm really looking at is just the concatenation part. I don't really care that they're grabbing an element off the web page and then assigning this value to that element, because that's just showing up right here down below. Cool. So let's just pay attention to this part. Page, which is our string, literal, plus a concatenation of window.location.hostname. What is the host name of this current web page? Well, the host name is www.w3schools.com. Okay, the path name. So if we look at the current path, we got /js /window location. Let's see what they have. All right, so page path is, and then you got window.location.path name, and you got page path is /js /window location ASP. And if you look up here, this is exactly what we have right there. JS window location. Cool. All right, and then we got window protocol. Let's see what protocol did we use up here. We use the HTTPS protocol, and so we got page protocol is, and then we got window.location. Dot protocol is page.https protocol. How do I know it's the HTTPS protocol? I came here, and if you look right above, you will see HTTPS rather than HTTP. Okay, dope. Flying through this. All right, and then the port number. I didn't talk about ports. Ports is a big conversation, but we're gonna try to get a gist of the ports. So basically, your port is, you have this thing called a network card, and your network card is connected to the network, right? When you connect to your Wi-Fi, basically what you're doing is just telling your network card to connect to your router, and now whenever the router is getting information in and that information wanting to go to your computer, what it does is sends that information to your network card. Well, imagine all the things that's using Wi-Fi on your computer. How does the router know which application wants that specific data? Well, the thing is, it tells, your computer has these things called ports, or your Wi-Fi card has these things called ports, right? And these ports basically go from 0 to 65,554. I hope so. I think so. But it goes up to about that many different ports. And what happens is you can assign applications to a port. And so now when that application is requesting data from the internet, and that data comes to your router is going to say, okay, it needs to go to this computer at this specific port rather than another port, because if it went to a different port, it'll go to a different application. So a port kind of connects to the application. A port is for us to understand which application. And so for most web applications, when we're using HTTP and HTTPS, HTTP is an application and HTTPS is also an application. It's a protocol that runs. And so which is a set of procedures, which is just some code, which is a function, you feel me? So and when you run a function, it's a process, so therefore it has a port. And so HTTP has the port 80, and HTTPS has port 443. And so when we do window.location.port, it didn't really print out the port, but you can assume, because we're using HTTPS, that the port is 443. And if we were using HTTP, the port would be 80. But you can set your ports to anything. That's a conversation for me in the back end, unless we get into we get to that conversation another day. Okay. But window.location.assign. So this one is different because all the other ones were attributes, but this one right here is a method. And this method loads a new document. And so how do we use this method? Well, this is how we use this method right here. Is we say window.location.assign, and then we pass in the string, and then we pass in the string representation of the location that we want to go to. And then here we're going to W3 school. So actually, let's try this one out. Page load. Forgot my Wi-Fi might not be fast. Okay, cool. All right, so here is the simple web page that loaded from W3 schools. Let me move myself over. Okay, so you can basically see it's just a HTML. It has an H3 right here, the window.location object, which is all the way over there, which you see on the right-hand side where it says the window.location object. Okay, and then you got your input box right here, and this input box is just a type button. We could have put a button, but they put an input button. And so they use input type button, and then they set this on click handler right here. equal to new document. And so where is new document? New document is right here, right below, or right here. And then new document, what are we doing in new document? New document, all we're doing is window.location.assign, and we're moving it to a new location. And so that's the on-click handler for this button. So let's click on this button and see what happens. And we go to W3 Schools. Cool. The window went to W3 Schools. As you can see, this is on window. Like, it didn't turn this whole it didn't turn the whole browser window. It just turned its current window. Let me see. It just turned its current window to, which is this part. It just turned that current window to W3 Schools rather than the overall window that I'm on right now. Cool. I think that's really dope. And that's how you would use the assign. You just put anything that you need there. So let's get back to this one. Cool. And that's about it. We made it to the end. Cool. All right, bet. We made it to the end. Dope. Y'all killing it. This is the window location. How we can start to think about navigating. We can see that we can navigate to new web pages. In HTML, we have to do like an anchor tag and then put the reference the href where we want it to go. Now in JavaScript, we see that we can see the href and we can get the href. We can also get other things as well. But whenever we want to go to a new page, all we got to do is say .assign. We can dynamically go to different pages. We can dynamically load different pages in our JavaScript just off of a button click, just off of a swipe or something. We can call window.location.assign, and just load something based off a user's action. And we can mix this with event handlers and whatnot, and we can really do some real dope things. So next video, we're gonna talk about the history object from the window and see what we can really do with navigating and all stuff like that. So, and that, I'll see y'all in that lesson. And until then, let the street way. Peace.